Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. This is your bro Benzo back with another LSPDFR plugin install tutorial for the year 2020. It's been a couple of years since I actually did a plugin install tutorial. Really not as much has changed, guys. So just in case you're getting into LSPDFR and you wanted a kind of more of an updated one, just in case things have changed. But we're going to go ahead and get straight into this. And if this video helps you in any way, be sure to like and comment down below. And if you're brand new to the channel, welcome, and subscribe if you feel like it. We're going to go ahead and first find our main game directory. The easiest way to do this is go to your Steam pathway, and I'm also going to put the default pathway for you guys on the screen for you in just a second. But if you go to your Grand Theft Auto 5 right here inside Steam, go to Properties, go to Local Files, Browse Local Files. You'll find your Grand Theft Auto 5 folder really easy that way. Once you get the hang of it, you could probably just do a shortcut and just paste it like on your taskbar or something like that. That way you can always get to your Grand Theft Auto 5 folder. But mine's on the G drive. Yours may be installed on a different drive. I'm going to go ahead and put the default pathways here for the C drive, and also retail versions for you guys. I'm going to put that on there for you as well, so that way you can find your Grand Theft Auto 5 folder pretty easy. We're going to go ahead and reduce that. So we now have our main game directory right here. This is where we're going to be messing with most of the stuff. I want you to get really familiar with this particular folder, the main game directory here. You're going to notice there's two folders. One of them is LSPDFR, the other one's plugins. We're mainly going to be messing with the plugins folder. So what you're going to end up doing is when you double click plugins right now, I want to show you what this looks like. This is what a default LSPDFR looks like after the install. If you haven't seen my LSPDFR install, make sure you go back and watch that. That way you know what you're doing. And this is what it looks like. Now in a minute, when we start throwing plugins in, you're going to see an LSPDFR folder in all caps that's going to be inside our plugins folder, not to be confused with this particular folder right there. So I hope that makes sense. But we're going to go ahead and reduce this. We're going to go to my main links page that's going to be in the description down below. You're going to see something sort of like this. And I have a ton of different links here for you guys. Just a bunch of stuff here. You can see we got a lot of plugins. And then we have also callouts as well. We're just going to mainly do some callout. We'll probably do one callout. Yeah, we'll probably do one callout. We'll do attempted callouts. We'll do this one first. And my advice is to get this off of a JoJo site. Once again, the link's already in the description. And then we're going to go ahead and download this. And we've got a bunch of other stuff here install or ready to install as well. And then we're going to exit out of that. But we're going to be installing CompuLite, Stop the Ped, Ultimate Backup, and then we're going to go ahead and install Spotlight and Cop Holster, mainly because those are installed differently. And then a PLD, which is a player location display, that will show you the actual street names next to the minimap. It's pretty cool. And then we'll do one callout pack. But once you get the hang of this, pretty much everything is going to be installed pretty easy for you guys. We're going to go ahead and exit out of that. We're going to pull up our main game directory. And we're going to start. Actually, I need to grab that back. Let me go back to my downloads. Okay, we're going to grab these again. Let's see here. Let's grab all these files. And we're going to drag this onto our desktop. There we go. Okay, so we have all of our things there. Once again, we're going to be installing Ultimate Backup, Stop the Ped, and we're going to do Spotlight, which is going to go to a different location I'll show you in a second. Player location display, CompuLite, and then we're going to do attempted crime callouts. I do believe that's what it is. Yeah, that's what that is. So we're going to be installing all of these. We're going to pull them over here. If you don't have WinRAR, make sure you download that, or 7-zip. It really doesn't matter. I think you guys, most of you guys know how to do that. Okay, and we're going to pull up our main game directory. First thing we're going to do is let's install Ultimate Backup. It's a really good mod here. What you're going to do is don't drag the actual folder into here. If you open this up, you'll see that it has a plugins folder and then a RageNativeUI.dll. Sometimes you'll end up pulling these into your main game directory right here, and it'll ask to overwrite it. Biggest thing you want to do is look at the install date or the modification date. Make sure it's the newest one, and believe it or not, there's really no need to update this real regularly. So the newest one will probably be like February of 2018. Okay, so just in case somebody makes a new one, just install the latest one. That's all I'm going to have to probably tell you about on that. Now, one thing to note is if you open this particular plugins folder here, you're going to see an LSPDFR in all caps, and that is where the main files are located at right there. So if we go back, it looks kind of benign, looks like just a plugins folder. If we drag this into here, into the white of your main game directory, it's going to go right into this file right here because it's already named plugins. And then notice what we have right here. You're going to see this folder inside this one in just a moment, but I want you to get in the habit of dragging into here, not into here, okay? Because that way things don't get messed up. The pathways, it's all about pathways, guys. So what I'm going to do is drag and drop this right here, okay? And then if you open a plugins folder now, you'll see an LSPDFR folder, and then you'll see Police Smart Radio, Ultimate Backup, Vocal Dispatch. Now these are not the actual mods that you've heard of, like Vocal Dispatch. That just comes with Ultimate Backup. That's just part of a folder that comes with it. I don't want you to think you're installing Vocal Dispatch and you're not installing Police Smart Radio yet. You can always get that off my links page. So we're going to back out. We're going to throw this Rage Native UI into the main game directory. And notice it didn't ask to override it, so that's the only one I have, and you have to have that for the stuff to work. So that one's installed. We're going to get out of that. And then we're going to go to Stop the PED, and you'll see a little pattern here after a second. Stop the PED. Once again, don't pull the whole folder over. You're going to open this up, and if you look real close, it's the same Rage Native UI. You don't really need that one now. But at Plugins folder, once again, this is what it looks like. Here's Ultimate Backup, right? So get back to your main game directory, grab your plugins folder, drag and drop. And now when you do this, you're going to see it looks kind of the same. Go to LSPDFR, now you're going to see Stop the PED. And then it also has its own folder. We're going to back out. We're going to go over here and delete this one. So you kind of have the gist as to most plugins. That's the way most plugins are going to behave. Now Spotlight behaves a little differently. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So if you look at the file inside Spotlight, they don't really tell you what to do except for the README. They'll probably tell you right here. Let's see, does it even say it? It just says drag the Spotlight DLL and the Spotlight resources to your plugins folder. So that's exactly what you do. So what you're going to do is open your plugins folder, and then you're going to grab these. You don't need the README. See these two files right there? You're going to drag and drop these right here inside your plugins folder, just like this. Okay, so you have to really pay close attention to the README files. They usually will tell you, where to put these things. But sometimes modders get lazy and then they'll just tell you to put it in plugins folder. But in reality, it's a little deeper than that. All right, so Spotlight's now installed. I'm going to show you another little tip with Spotlight in just a moment. We're going to delete that. Now player location display, we're going to go back to our main game directory, which is right here. Player location display is installed completely different than most other things as what we just did. So open up player location display. You're going to installation files right here. And notice it's named Grand Theft Auto 5. Now it's named that for a reason because they're telling you to put that directly into your main game directory. It doesn't go into a plugins folder. So you're going to grab these two files and drop it right, just like you do a trainer. You're going to drag and drop, and now they're inside your main game directory with your launcher and your GTA launcher, as well as a bunch of other stuff. So you're going to see it right there, okay? And now you're always going to see that it's really not a mod per se, more like a script, if you will. Okay, and then CALLOUTS, it's another plugin. It's real easy to install, same thing. And once again, it's named CALLOUTS. You're going to open this up. You're going to take it to plugin. You're going to drag and drop. Open up plugins, and you'll see it right here. And it's CALLOUTS, and then you'll see these two files right here. Okay, now we're going to do a couple things. We're going to delete that out. We're going to open up callouts. They're installed just like plugins, guys. We're going to open up callouts. Now, all callouts pretty much are installed the same way. You open it up. We're going to open this. Now, One thing with callouts is they usually call on audio files, and so you're going to need to have, if you look real close attention, this LSPDFR folder is going to go inside this one. So if I open this now, just to show you what it looks like, okay, and if I go to audio, and then if I go to scanner, okay, you're going to see a lot of things that the game calls on. And if you pay real close attention to, this is callouts, attempted crime callouts, this LSPDFR folder, this audio, see how the pathway is? Here's the scanner, and then here's attempted, this is going to be a folder inside here when we get done. So once again, go all the way back, get in a habit of starting from the scratch here, from the beginning. We're back in our main game directory. You're going to drag this, drop it down here. Don't get in the habit of doing that, because you may end up, in a different folder. Just drag and drop. Your game will know what to do. Now, if you go into your LSPDFR folder, go to audio, scanner, and then attempted crime callouts should be here. Where's it at? Here it is, right there. And if you open this up, you can see it's got some files that here, let me play one of these for you.
A person carrying an explosive.
Okay, so you get the gist of these callouts, how they work, right? All right, so we're going to now take our plugins folder right here. We're going to drag and drop that. And so now the plugins is inside here, and you can see attempted crime callouts. So now we just installed quite a few things. My advice, don't try to install too many things at one time. I'm kind of pushing the limits already. I always tell people don't install more than 3 plugins at a time, because that way if it screws your game up, you know which one's doing it. So my advice is, maybe if you really want to play it safe, you could do it 1 plugin at a time. It's probably worth doing that to add a little bit of patience to yourself. That way, if your game starts failing on you or things are not working properly, that way you can kind of have an idea which plugin it was. Don't do like I did, guys. Be a dumbass and install 10 to 12, 15 different plugins at one time, because then you end up spending hours of your time trying to figure out what it is. All right, so I do want to show you the INI files. These are configuration settings, same thing. If you go to attempted crime callouts, I'm going to show you real fast, not the DLL, but this one right here. You can see its configuration setting. If you open this up, you can change the key, the main interaction key if you like. There's all kinds of things you can do right here. So this one doesn't have a lot of things. I will tell you that if you're a YouTuber, that I'm not going to spell the word or even say it, but I'll just spell the word RAPE, okay? But I'm not going to say the word, because YouTube loves to demonetize things. But if you're a YouTuber, you might want to consider switching this to yes, because there is a call out that says that word quite a bit. And so you might want to change that to yes. And then really what it does, it's not so much the word. So don't worry about the word. It's the way the PEDs are dressed. So if you have it as no, you're going to see a bunch of boobs, and then YouTube may try to flag you. But if you put it as yes, enable censorship, then the PED will be wearing like a shirt or something, kind of ripped a little bit, but at least wearing something. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Make sure you save it. Exit out of there. CompuLite, let's go back to that real fast. And then the open computer screen for that, to enable CompuLite or to be able to pull it up, is E, the E key. If you played LSPDFR before, you're used to pressing the E key to get to the police computer, and that's what CompuLite is. It's a police computer. I like mine is defaulted as the E key. And then also when you're on foot, you can actually pull up the police computer on foot. If you do left control, the number pad 0, you can always change that to another key if you like. Okay, so these things are highly customizable, and I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I really want to change on here. Everything else looks pretty good. We're going to save this, and then let's go to stop the PED. I do like to change some things here. You don't have to be like me, but I do like to change my key for the main context for this to be K. That's just me, okay? So I like to have mine as K. And then I do like to do left control T to grab PEDs and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. You can change your sprint key. There's a bunch of stuff on here you can change. I'm not going to go into all the detail because I don't make this video too long, but you can see there's a ton of crap here you can change. So it's really just a matter of figuring out which key, is what, and meaning that so it doesn't conflict with another plugin. You're going to have to write these keys down, guys. I can't make an entire video on that. It's just too much. But if you save this, now my K key will bring up the main menu for Stop the Ped. But to interact with citizens, it's going to be Stop the Ped is also going to be E. So if you hit E twice, it will stop the ped, just like it's supposed to do, just like the name. And then you go through an interaction menu. That's fine, but to bring up Stop the Ped menu by myself, like to bring it up myself, I like to do it with the K key. We're going to exit out of there. Ultimate backup. And then personally, I like to change mine to the, I do believe it's the O key. Yeah, O key. I like the O key because it's not really bound to too much other things. So I like and you have to do capital O, by the way. If it has a lowercase, it won't work. So make sure it's capitalized. And then I'm going to go through here, and there's really not a lot you can change. You can change a few things with, code 2 siren on, like, if you have ELS installed, which I'm going to go through a vehicle install later. If you have that installed, there's a good chance that they're going to come with the lights and sirens anyway. So it really doesn't matter if you change that, to be honest. So you can change a few other things. Don't change too much of the felony backup number because your game might try to crash. Default is 3. I like to leave -3 or 4. So leave that alone. But feel free to change some things, experiment. That's what makes this game fun. And then that's pretty much done. Now I do want to show you one other thing with Spotlight. Get this out of here. Let's fire up the game real fast. I'm going to show you how to handle Spotlight because one more time, let me get this back up here. If you look in one time, the plugins folder, okay, notice that it has Spotlight inside the plugins folder, okay? You will see a plugins folder, or at least, I'm sorry, a plugin being loaded into the game. It'll say LSPDFR with the floating text as you're loading into the game, and then it should say Spotlight. Now, the only way to get this loaded, I'm going to show you how to do this properly, is to fire up Rage, hold down Shift key between 2 and 5 seconds. So start up Rage. I'm holding down my Shift key now because I want to get to the Rage menu, just like that. What you're going to do is if you go to Plugins, notice Spotlight is not checked off. So if you installed it just like I showed you and you're wondering why it's not loading up, it's because you didn't watch this part of the video. You're being impatient. So go to, I laugh at that because I get messages from you guys all the time and you don't watch the entire video. Go to load these plugins on startup. You can check it off like that to be easy, but my professional opinion of an LSPDFR video maker is click on load all plugins and startup just like that. That way you don't have to worry about all this stuff. And then you save and launch the game, and then it will load up LSPDFR and it'll load up Spotlight. Now the other plugins that we did, like Stop the Ped, Ultimate Backup, Attempted Crime Callouts, those particular plugins are in the background. You can't see them being loaded. In case you're wondering, it's like, how come I don't see them being loaded? They're already being loaded for you, so you don't have to worry about loading it yourself. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to you. And then this time what we would do is save and launch. I don't want to make this video too long. If you guys are really interested in having me go through the entire process of dissecting Stop the Ped with you guys, like what each key does and how to work the menu and all that stuff, I'll be glad to do that. But first of all, you have to like the video and comment down below and let me know. So anyway, that's my take on that. It's my 2 cents. Benzo's out of here. You guys take care. Let me know down below what you'd like to see next. Take care. Stay safe.
Thank you for watching Benzo's YouTube channel. Be sure to drop a like, comment and subscribe if you're new. Benzo uploads often, so stay tuned for the next episode.